Hey guys, this is Comic Ken, and today we're just gonna get into some more drawing with Saintly. I have finished all the pencils for the pages I said I'm gonna finish, and I've started inking. So I wish I could have a setup for inking. I still have to figure that out, but once I do, I'll probably be inking on stream. But for now, we'll just be working on an illustration that I'm continuing from last week, and we'll just go from there. So I have that screen ready to go over here. Let me see if I can present. Share screen. And we'll go to share entire window. Entire screen, share. Cool. Okay, so that should show what we got going on here. Nice. Awesome. So, yeah, this is what I'll be working on. So I've been working on this for the last 2 weeks. It's just like a little witch-themed piece for Saintly, my latest webcomic, and I am basically at the inking stage. Like, most of this is done. I don't have much else to do to get this piece ready, so I think it's just about time to head into the inking phase. I'm going to make sure that some last minute things are still good, and then I'll just jump right into it. So let me see what I got here. So I got my character Chelsea there, and then I got Vivi in the front. I'm trying to make sure that they're both good. That was an older sketch, another sketch, and that was some inks. And one of the things that I kind of figured out with drawing my characters is how I want the style of Saintly itself to look. Like, I got a kind of a mood board type thing here, which anytime I see like a really accurate representation of what I want Saintly to look like, I'll put it in this board, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is the vibe that I'm going with. And whenever I see something with like that looks kind of crazy, like dark like this, I'll put that in the story. Or if I see something with like kind of clean yet sketchy lines like this, where the lines are not how I usually do them, like how I did with Air Rider, I'll put it in like that. So things with like thin lines and sketchiness seems to be the style that I'm gonna try to go for with Saintly going forward. So that is what I'm gonna try to attempt in this new illustration, and then we'll just go from there. So I'm gonna go back to the illustration page and say what's up to Nick Stream. How you doing, man? Appreciate you coming out to the show. Let me make sure I'm seeing you correct. Okay, cool. What's up, man? He says, how's it been after the move? Everything's been chill, super chill, and that's one of the kind of the dangers of moving back in with my folks. It's like, before, I was on my P's and Q's at all times, just making sure that I don't making sure that I survive and don't die, you know what I mean? But now it's like I don't have to I don't have to be as alert or vigilant as I used to be. I can be a little bit more chilled out and just kind of focus on the art. And that's kind of the opposite of what you want to do for like if you're living on your own and whatnot. But in this case, it's just normal. And so I just have to keep myself what's the word? I have to keep the pressure up on myself. And it's always on, I mean? Like, it's always up, but at the same time, it's like you don't want to relax too much into the situation you got going. Because eventually I'm gonna have to leave again, of course, and then hopefully I'll be in a better financial position, and then Saintly will be done, so that I can just start going on tour, selling that, and creating more books with my name on it. So yeah, that's basically how that situation's been. What's up, Massive Panda? How you doing? Appreciate you coming out to the show. Say, yo, what's up, Ken? I'll be in and out of the chat, but I'm listening in. Hope all is well. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, everything is going really well. I'm just chilling and drawing, trying to finish this illustration here, so I can have that, just ready for whatever for whatever I need it for. It's mostly done here, so I'm going to probably collapse a few layers and just start inking on top of what I got. So I'm just gonna make sure once more that what I have is decent and that I can just start inking on top of it. Let me see. So these are the layers for like Vivi's clothes. I'm just trying to clean up this little area right here so I can make sense of it when I'm starting to ink. And in fact, actually, I do want more of that rough look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this. Maybe I erased too much and now I don't even know what I was going for. No, now I remember. Okay. So what I'm going to do, my nose is itchy. Let me see. Is that something underneath? This is more of Vivi's clothes. So Chelsea underneath would have to be removed to some extent. So she can pop out a little bit more. Or it doesn't get mixed up in what's going on there. So I want to see how fast I can ink this piece and get it ready for colors. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take these layers. I'm not going to collapse them, but I will put them in a folder. I'm going to put them all in a folder. Create a new folder. I'm just going to call it all lines. Lines with an S. There we go. And then I'm going to put Vivi in there. Put Vivi in there again. Okay, good. I'm going to put the back of the broom in there. That's good. Then I'm going to put Chelsea in there. Boom. Now we have our full drawing in there. And we can put every other layer in the scraps folder. Because that's basically what this is. Oh, no, actually, that's not the scraps layer. That's Chelsea. Like the full sketch before I erase parts of her. Sketch. And then I'm going to make a scraps folder for all the layers that I'm not using. Go ahead and put all of that in there. I'm going to turn off Chelsea's layer and then turn on this. Then I'm even gonna put those inks in there because I don't want that line quality for this. I put this in scraps. I'm gonna put Chelsea's folder in the scraps as well because I don't need it. Um, this goes in scraps. So does this. We got a whole lot of that stuff in there. Oh, you know what? I just came to mind now. Daredevil is out. And I haven't seen a single episode of season 2. But I watched season 1 and I watched all the actually good seasons that premiered on Netflix. So yeah, I watched the Disney Daredevil and I was just like, okay, some of it is good. Like there's some good aspects of it here and there. It's still the same actors and they had some pretty dramatic stuff happen in the story, so it's okay, but it wasn't really like as hard hitting or logical as the first season that premiered on, or the first 3 seasons that premiered on Netflix. There was just so much that I had like problems with on that second season, or that 4th season that premiered on Disney, that I was just like, okay, I mean, it could be better, but you know, it is what it is, and I'll just deal with it. But it was okay. It was okay. It was okay. But it didn't make me like super excited to just jump into season 2. And the way they're doing it now is like they dropped all episodes, so people are reacting to seasons or episode 6 right now, and I'm not sure if it's a full season where it's like 8 episodes or even 10 episodes, but people are reacting to episode 6 with like, I guess Jessica Jones came back, and I liked her show, the first season of Jessica Jones. Like it was pretty good. Like I liked it. But with Daredevil, what they're doing with this season, I'm like, I hope season 2 is just as good, or I mean, at least at the level of season 4. But I'm not sure if we can reach the same heights as the Netflix Daredevil, where it was just everything was so locked in, so believable, so grounded, except for season 2. But so high tier storytelling that season 4 just couldn't compete with season 1 through 3 of the Netflix Daredevil. I mean, they tried to make it more violent, like, you know, Daredevil's not pulling any punches, he's like, you know, breaking people's legs and stuff. But I mean, like, just adding more violence doesn't make it better. So it was just okay. But yeah, I will probably check that out at some point. But right now I'm watching The Boys. So The Boys is like, you know, The Boys for me is like how people watch Fast and Furious, where there's a whole bunch of like writing problems in The Boys and Gen V that I just completely overlook. I don't look at it logically at all. I'm just enjoying the ride. Whatever happens, I'm enjoying it because it's like they still keep to well, it has its own formula that that makes it work, and they don't try to deviate from that. They don't try to make it serious all of a sudden. Like, they just do what we want to see, and I just keep coming back for it every single time. I enjoy it all the way, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't care about the writing quality. It's one of those that I just want to see what's his name? I just want to see Homelander. I want to see Butcher. I want to see Jensen Ackles. doing Soldier Boy. I want to see the Deep just being an idiot all the time. Like that is all I want from the boys, and it delivers every time. Like they keep certain characters around because they're gonna get up to some stupid stuff and it's gonna be funny, it's gonna be hilarious. But Homelander is one of those characters that steals the show. Butcher is one of those characters that you just can't have this show work without him, and it is all really really good stuff. And I it's just one of those shows that you don't need to think too deep about it. Just enjoy it for what it is, because I like how they bring all these real world parallels, and I'm completely apolitical to where I just don't care about either side or whatever is going on. I just know that they're trying to bring some of that real world stuff into the boys, and it makes it more enjoyable because it just has that much more like what's the word, connection to real life. Like they'll talk about like, oh, it was an AI deep fake for whatever video that was shown in the show, and or it'll talk about like I don't know, just whatever like thing is going on in the real world that has some type of parallels to what's going on in the super world of the boys. So yeah, it's just a fun time. But yeah, let me say what's up to Nelliota. What's up? I appreciate you coming out to the show. Says hello, sir. Hope I didn't come in close to the ending. Had class. No, this is not even close to the ending. This is mostly the beginning. So yeah, we're just hanging out, chilling, and I am drawing this illustration. I'm basically at the point of inking it. So I'm on the inking stage, just like I'm on the inking stage for Saintly Chapter 1. So with this drawing, I'm gonna take this down, and then I'm gonna call this layer inks. So let me make sure this is hidden, covering stuff up, and basically I'm just gonna go ahead and start inking over everything I got now. And what I want to do is I want to have a different pen, kind of like this, but one where it's not where there's very little variation in the line thickness. Let me see if this will be the kind that I need. Yeah, I can make it work like that. Let me see about this though. I'm trying to, let's see. This is kind of a rough line, so I want to do, if I do it thick. No, I need something. What about this? Okay, that's kind of good. I like that. If I go to, okay, I'm right on the right layer. And I'm going to check my references again just to see, like, can I achieve some of that quality that I'm looking for by drawing in the way that I'm aiming for, like with the pen that I'm choosing. And let me say what's up to Chaz Bradner. What's up, man? I don't think I've seen you before on the show, but appreciate you coming out and checking me out. What's up, man? Been writing my fantasy book along with you, but I just had a baby, so that took a slight backseat. Yeah, man, that is crazy. You just had a baby, so that is gonna be a handful. Wow. Congratulations, actually. Um, yeah, happy for you, man. Was it a boy or a girl? And yeah, that is definitely gonna take up some time there, but at the same time, I feel, or this is what I've heard from other people with children, that it becomes like another source of motivation to really like uh go hard on your like writing or creative goals, because you have a child in the back, and it's like helping you or giving you that motivation, that extra kick to succeed at what you're trying to do. So um that's great. That's great. So this is my, what's the word, my reference, well, not reference, but like I'm trying to match this quality of line work where it's thin. um oh, did I just crash the thing again? Wow. Okay, I'm just not going to zoom in next time. But yeah, I'm trying to match that quality of line work where it's thin, maybe a bit sketchy, something like this, or even like this. This is perfect, but this is done on paper. Uh, like I want to have that quality of the line just going over once. And this is rough, so that is pretty good, pretty close. Yeah, I think I could figure it out. Let me go over to my illustration here, and I'm just gonna ink as if I'm doing it on paper, where I just start with the line that's closest. I just start inking from okay. All right. Chaz says, girl, okay, congratulations, awesome. It's definitely has slowed down the process, but it is a motivation to follow my dreams and forget the 9 to 5. Oh yeah, yeah, that is 100% the goal to and it's 100% possible. I think a lot of people have that idea, like they want to do it, but then they also have that conflicting idea that it's not possible, so that kind of gets in their way a lot. But I'm 100% sure it is possible because people have done it before. So just for the mere fact that people have done this before, made a living at making comics or at writing novels, means that it's well within our abilities to also do the same thing and pull it off. So yeah, I'm pretty sure you can do that even with a baby on the you know in your life now. So yeah, I hope that does give you the needed like motivation to go even harder on your creative dreams and creative work. Only thing I'm motivated by these days is just, trying to get to a better financial position in life in general. I think before, when I was younger, like in my 20s, it was mostly ego motivated, where I was just like, I want to prove my worth to the world. I want to prove my skill to everybody alive and just show that I can be as good as anybody else in making comics or making art, but actually going through the process of trying to do that has shown me why so many people who I started off with or who were just as loud as me, like back in the day, have just like quit or left the industry entirely, because it's very much a financial thing to succeed in comics. Like if you can't succeed early in comics, or if you can't succeed on a good timeline in comics and make money doing what you're doing, then your business dies so quick that you don't even have time to really get it off the ground. And that's how it can be for people who are, you know, hoping to turn this into a career. But that's just the what's the word? That's like the just part of the reality of it, you know. Just a little bit of the reality. Nelly Oda says, I'm still on line art for the comic. I'm working for a class. This is harder than expected, and I'm a design student. Yeah, I think doing design translates to good composition for your comics, but not necessarily for the actual tedious work of making the comic, because that's basically mostly what making a comic is a lot of tedium, just drawing the page or inking until the image is done, and then you look over your work and you're like, oh, this is trash, but you still have to publish it anyway, or you still have to, you know, do what you can with it, make it as good as you can make it, and still put it out anyway. Because if you don't publish, then people won't be able to see like what you're actually capable of. So that is the most necessary step after everything else is done. So I'm going to take this line. I'm going to go ahead and I like that little waviness that I have there for BB's hat. And then here I'm going to go put in the top line for her, where her head meets the hat. And I'm going to try to keep this show to an hour and a half. I have a couple things I need to do at home. And then I'll just be inking the rest of the night for Saintly and trying to get chapter 2 done in a faster time frame than I did for chapter 1. I want to finish inking even faster than I was penciling, but I'm going to have to do some penciling to finish. Let me see. Do some penciling to finish the. There we go. Yeah, that looks good. Some penciling to finish some of the images that I'm planning to ink, because the pen. Hold on. Let me. I'll be right back. I have to make sure that I got something to take care of before I come back. 1 second. All right. Sorry about the wait, guys. I had to do an extra little task for one of my parents. So let me check the comment. And hey, Hiroshi Yoda, what's up, man? Appreciate. Oh wait, I said Hiroshi Yoda. Hiroda Yoshi, what's up, man? Appreciate you coming to the show. I said, what's good, Ken? What are your thoughts on an American version of Tokiwaso Mangaka House? From what I understand, the Cubert School was kind of like that. Yeah, the Cubert School is kind of like that, except you're paying to go to that instead of you know, having a good like living situation. I'm pretty sure that's what you're talking about, the Tokiwa. So I think I've heard of a similar situation like that, but I don't know exactly what the Tokiwa mangaka house is. Let me check on that really quick, because if it is what I think you're talking about, then let me see. If it is what I think you're talking about, then the Cubert School wasn't like that. Let's see. So I'm thinking it's like where a lot of like early like start like, you know, manga artists who were starting out in their careers gathered and were trying to you know, develop a living, or they just had a lot of manga artists in that area. Let's see. There was once a wooden apartment building in Toshima City called Tokiwaso, where Osamu Tezuka, Fujiko, you know, they created Doraemon, and other manga masters spent their youth. Memories of this apartment, which eventually came to be called the Mecca of manga, were passed on to this museum over the course of 70 years by local residents, and they still continue to speak to us today. Yeah, actually, I mean, this wasn't a this was just where you know, early manga artists were living and starting off their careers. The Cubert School is kind of like that, but you know, you're paying tuition to go there and learn about, you know, how comics actually works. But at the same time, there was very, very few guys that were as serious as somebody like Osamu Tezuka, or Fujiko, or Fujio, or Shotaro Ishinomori. Like, there's very few guys that were like that at the Cubert School. Most people were just, you know, interested in playing video games or smoking weed. So it wasn't as competitive as you might think. There was a bit of a competitive atmosphere, but you know, for the most part, it wasn't that, you know, serious. I wanted it to be competitive. I was serious about, you know, getting really good at comics and making it my whole life and whatnot. But most people at the Cubert School weren't like that. So it was hard to find people who were like super serious about getting into the industry or even completing their assignments on time. So yeah, there was elements of that where we were all beginners and starting out and trying to find our way, trying to find our voice and that kind of thing. But for the most part, it wasn't what you might think. Let me see what else. Yeah, he really said a lot of legendary mangaka came from Tokyo. So, and legendary creators came from the Cubert School as well. but you would have to be there when they were there, or you would find out later over decades that they became a legend just doing comics over time. But for the most part, when you're at the school, you're like, okay, this guy is good, but is he gonna stay in making comics, or is he gonna stay doing this? Is he gonna stay on the path? Because most don't, and most stop drawing after I don't know how long. Like they just stop after a while, and it's not necessarily because they're trying to stop. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to draw right now. It's not necessarily because they're trying to stop. It's just sometimes the financial situation doesn't work out the way that they would have hoped, and they have to end their career prematurely. Whereas with the manga industry, there's, if you're good, if you have the skill, if you have the talent there, then there's definitely money to be made by getting serialized and going to a magazine with your comic. But in this day and age, for American comics, you have to put in a lot more effort on a whole bunch of other things, like, you know, doing a YouTube channel or being on social media to get your work noticed and out there for people to see. So it's not as cut and dry as before. And even in Japan, they have to be on social media. They have to put their stuff out there and get noticed so that readers can find their work. And it's not just all on the the company or the publisher to put their work out there now. It's almost a joint effort at this point. But yeah, let me read the comment from DrawStream. American artists would really benefit from a mentorship apprenticeship setup. Digital courses are nice, but a lot of skills aren't sufficiently passed on. Yep, I have thought so much about that in the past, and really wish that that's what it was like in America. And it used to be like that. There used to be elements of that where you would have like creators like Bill Sienkiewicz and what's his name? Frank Miller working together in a studio just to make a single comic that could be the defining moment of their career. Or you would have Neil Adams teaching another creator how to do certain things or how to make a career in comics. Like, comics used to be a serious thing where if you put together the right people and the right resources, you could make legendary comics that couldn't be made by yourself. Like, you would have a studio system where there would be other creators also trying to make it in comics, and everybody would learn from each other, and there would be a whole, everybody would be trying to make their own way into the industry and all that kind of stuff. But this is just, from what I've heard and from what I've read in books and speculation in general. But yeah, we don't really have that in the traditional sense, like you would have for fine art. You would have to pay for that if you were to even get a semblance of that. But I've been fortunate enough to have met, like, if you're really trying to find a mentorship or apprenticeship type setup, just go to cons and show whoever you're talking to that you're serious, and then keep in contact with them. That's literally it. That's all you have to do. Because that's what I did to get my mentorships and apprenticeships, basically, where I met Nick Patera at a convention, and then I showed him what I was working on, and then he showed me how to solve this perspective problem that I had. And from there, I just kept in contact, and we were able to develop a working relationship where I was just working in a studio, and he was showing me like how the actual industry works, and how I could make money, and giving me options for what paths to take. And when I didn't have any work, he would just give me some work. Like, he would just be like, okay, so I need some colors on this piece, can you do that for me? And then I would do that, and then he would pay me. And that's how that relationship started. It just started at a small convention in Pflugerville, like over a decade ago, and we've just kept in touch since. And then since then, I think I can say this now, recently he had me working on the Bizarro Superman comic as like a ghost colorist for some of the pages that they were having a hard time with the deadlines on. So they had me work on those, and that's how that relationship has sort of blossomed and led to like really fruitful assignments that have helped me over time. And that's not the only one. The other one is with Ngozi Ukazu, who I met at a convention years and years ago. Um, Back in my first year of the Kubert School, met her at New York Comic Con, and found out that she lived where I was born. Like, she lived in Austin, Texas. So I was just like, oh, sick. We can meet again because I live near there. So I met her at New York Comic Con. She was presenting, and I specifically set out to meet her because she was doing webcomics and making a buttload of money. So I was just like, okay, I need to do the same thing. And she was also Nigerian, so I was just like, okay, she's same ethnicity as me, or same race as me, and she's doing something that my parents never thought I could do with making comics. So I need to learn from her and figure out how to make this happen, how to do the same thing. And when I showed her the work that I was doing, she was just like, oh, this is actually like serious. Like, she could see in both cases it was the same. Like, both Nick and Ngozi could see, like, oh, this guy's not a joker. He's not like fucking around. um he's actually serious about this, and he's made his own comic, or he's making his own comic. um and when I was learning from Nick, I would actually just follow through with the assignments. That's all it took, because everyone else had there were other peoples that he was mentoring or trying to mentor, and when he would give them assignments, they just wouldn't do them, or they some other thing took up their time, and they just wouldn't be serious about it. But I kept coming back for more. I kept giving him like, hey, I finished the assignment, what's the next one? And that's what kind of kickstarted our relationship, where he would always just like give me work. It would get to the point where he was giving me like professional work, and that was because I kept doing the assignments and turning them in. And then I went to the Kubert School to get like actual professional skills, and furthered my learning in comics. So yeah, and I just kept that relationship with Ngozi going until today, where now she's paying me to create Saintly. Like, she's seen my dedication to making comics by basically completing my comic Air Rider and taking it all the way to a full creation twice on Kickstarter. And once she saw that I could actually make money and you know put my actual skills on display and try to self-publish myself, she was just like, okay, well, and it was completely by accident. I didn't even tell her the story. I didn't even tell her the idea behind Saintly until she asked about, like, do you have like any other stories that you're working on or that you're thinking about making one day? And I was just like, yeah, I do have this one story that I was thinking about making after Air Rider called Saintly. And she was like, okay, what's that about? And I told her what it was about, and then I showed her like basically the cover image, which I made back in the Cuber school, and she was just like, okay, yeah, this is what needs to be made, and you're gonna make it, and I'm gonna pay you. And I was just like, what? Because she had paid like colorists uh the basically the same amount that or less than the amount that she's paying me to make this. So she's used to putting in money in things, but this is meant to be kind of a business venture for her, but also a way to kickstart my career as well. So we're like pooling pooled those resources together for me to make this comic, and that's how that relationship of over like since 2018 has just kind of blossomed and developed into what we have now. And it's just it was just by going out of my way to talk to somebody at a convention and meet with them, and then it just it turned into this because they lived nearby. So if you have somebody, a comics professional that lives near you, or you can find a way to move closer to them somehow, and you hit it off with them, and you like talk to them, and just learn more about them, then you can find that mentorship type position that you might be looking for if you just put yourself out there a little bit. And there's plenty of people that are willing to do it today. It might not be the people you want to learn from, but it'll be the people that you need to learn from. So yeah, just put yourself out there in a little way by going to a convention, and hopefully that person lives near you, and you can get a whole lot of opportunities just by knowing that person and being friends with them and that kind of thing, because they will help you out. They want to see that you're serious about making comics first before they even give you an inch of help. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just pretend, because over time that I've known Ngozi and known Nick, I just kept showing like, hey, I'm still working, I'm still making comics, I'm still serious about this, and I never like flagged or I never waved in my dedication to making comics. So every time we met up again, I would show them the new thing that I was working on, and I would just show them my improvements and that kind of stuff, or help them out with whatever like professional work that they might have needed help with, because they were both like full-timers by the time we met. And since I was serious about becoming full-time as well, they were like, okay, let me show you how to do that, since you're serious about this. Because most people that want to do comics aren't that serious about it, or they see how hard it is and then they quit. So yeah, that's basically the situation with all of that. But yeah, let me see. Dale A, what's up, Dale? Says, yeah, boomers are bad at passing down their legacy. Yeah, man, there's a lot of that going on in the industry these days, where you got like all the image people that you would think there's like new image people or new top tier professionals in comics, but no, man, they're like the same guys that are still there after all these years. Maybe there's a few new people, but everybody who was there is still there, and they're not going to show you the way out unless you get to know them personally. So there's a way you can get in, I think, but you'd have to develop some type of working relationship with one of those guys. But yeah, appreciate y'all. Ash Hughes, I don't think I've seen you here before, but what's up? Appreciate you coming out to the show and checking it out. El May, appreciate you coming out to the show and seeing what's up. I think I got your name right this time, so I'm pretty happy about that. Let's go back to the illustration. I think it's coming out good. Let me see what we got. Yeah, it's coming out good. Let me make myself smaller so that we can see it better. Ouch. Okay. So I'm going to try to match this side of her eye. And you know what? Yeah, I did that back in the inking. No, the sketch stage. Flipped it back and forth just to make sure it was good. Because that's one of those important things that you want to really make sure. I don't know if I want to do a whole issue digitally. Because, I mean, well, I can do something like this illustration digitally and it'll come out all right. I feel like having the ability to endlessly change my stuff in digital gives me too much. I wouldn't call it like power, but gives me too much. What would I call it? It'll make me spend too much time doing the undo, pressing the undo button and going back and redoing stuff. But I think the drawings might come out better. But at the same time, I do want my stuff to exist in two worlds. I want it to exist traditional, and I want it to exist digitally as well. But the thing about traditional is that the way I can tell that I made a good drawing is by how 3D it appears on my traditional canvas. Like if it really appears like I've made something three-dimensional as it appears on the page, then I'm like, nice, I've made a good drawing. But in digital, it's a little bit harder to tell sometimes. And it feels like sometimes there's a flattening effect that you can get with digital art when you've done it for too long. And I also don't want to stare at a screen for the rest of my life or the rest of my drawing life to get images done. Like, I want to be able to I don't want to lose my traditional art skills, and then I don't want to, and I want to be able to well, still have my eyesight, by the end of a drawing. So if I'm spending the majority of my time drawing, then it will probably be on a piece of traditional paper. And then the traditional materials I buy can be, like a tax write-off or something. So I'm about to buy more paper for issue number 3 here pretty soon. And I'm wondering, can I get 20 pages of a whole chapter done in a month? Is that even possible? Like for a webcomic, for a solo creator, I think it's possible and I've seen it be done, but I'd have to work a lot faster than I'm currently working to get that accomplished. Let me check out the comments here. Neliota, what made you start a YouTube channel. I low-key wanted to make one, but I just think about it and never do it, you know. Yeah. What made me think about starting a YouTube channel was like I was like 13. No, not 13, like maybe 14 or 15, where it was like, I don't know, 15 years ago or something, where I was just like, man, I want to join in the fun with everybody else online who's making videos. Like Cartoon Block, there was a big cartoon artist back then called Cartoon Block. There was White Manga was around back then. He was like maybe 17 or so back then, and I was just like, oh man, I want to be like this guy, because he was holding like contests called the White Manga Art Contest, and I would join those, trying to prove my art skills to the world and get a place in the contest. I always made it past the first round and then lost by the second round, but yeah, those were fun to try to level up my skills at. And basically it was just a jump from there to start making YouTube, a jump from being on DeviantArt to start making YouTube videos, because I saw other people were doing it and I was just like, oh man, I want to get online as well. And I don't want to put my face out there yet because I don't know what kind of crazy people are around, but let me try to show my skills and show that I'm part of the community as well. And that's what made me want to get started on YouTube, basically when I was a kid. And that was in the days when YouTube was super chill, where the work, I mean, if you were on YouTube, you weren't there necessarily to make a living, because that meta wasn't out yet, it wasn't oh, let's get on YouTube to try to make a living or try to get our brand out there. It was more like, let's get on YouTube for fun. And that's what I was on there for. I was just like, oh cool, everybody else is here, let me get on YouTube for fun and post my artwork, and everybody can see how awesome I draw and all that. And it was pure back then. There was a more pure reason for getting up on YouTube, putting your stuff on a screen and talking about it with everybody online. Like, it was just for fun. It wasn't for a living. It only became more like that over time, like later on, when I was just like, man, I only want to draw. And I was like that for years. I was just like, I only want to draw. I don't want to become a YouTuber. I don't want to do all these dumb art challenges. I just want to draw my comic and get paid for drawing a comic. But that isn't the strategy anymore. It's like, if you want to have a viable career in making comics, you have to be on social media in some way, shape, or form to get your name out there. And I tried being on Twitter for so long, but the competition on there is fierce. And it's like, you have to be drawing something every day. You have to be drawing fan art. You have to be drawing something that'll get people's attention. But even at the same time, even if you do get people's attention, it's not it's very fleeting on Twitter. Very fleeting on Twitter. So I did that for like a full year of just posting every single day. I had like a tweet blow up like at the very end of the year, where it got like maybe 600 likes or so, and then blew up my account just a little bit. But I was just like, yeah, there's just diminishing returns on being on Twitter. So, and it's like a massive headache with the way people interact on there. So let me go to YouTube, which I have experience at, which I've made videos for, and have some good edited videos. And yeah, I just jumped into YouTube again and started this challenge of, I'm going to post every day until I become a full-time artist. So yeah, that's kind of what got me into trying YouTube again. because I realized like, okay, I'm way better at speaking to a camera than trying to get attention on Instagram or uh Twitter all the time. And not everybody can do that. So I was just like, okay, well, there's a chance that if I do YouTube right, I could blow up. So let me do that. And it's also where a lot of my favorite artists are also posting their stuff. So let me get back on YouTube. Just go all in on that. Stop posting everywhere else and trying to be everywhere all at once, because it was driving me mad. And yeah, now we're here doing live streams and doing basically almost daily videos. I've chilled out on the schedule, that the old schedule I had, because now that I'm able to work constantly on my comics, that schedule is like a daily video every single day is not as necessary, because now I'm actually doing it full time. But before it was necessary because I just didn't have any time to draw anyway. So doing a video daily was like a way to show like, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm at, and hope you follow along, that kind of thing. But yeah, that is why I'm on YouTube more heavily now, and it's been pretty fun. So Elme says, you don't want to overwork it. Yeah. Yeah, the image that I'm drawing right now is like, or yeah, I guess that's in reference to like my comic pages, where I don't want to overwork it to the point where it's dead or it feels dead. So I don't want to do every single page digitally, when it concerns like the actual comic. Let me see. Elme says, yeah, I remember people used to shame YouTubers who asked for donations, calling them e-beggars and telling them to get a day job. Yeah. I don't remember those days necessarily, but yeah, people definitely used to do that. Dale A says, how about your email list? How's that going? That is going actually really well. People sign up just through the link on YouTube, and then going to shows, I always put out a email list sign up so that people can get on the list from the from the sign up thing, from the sign up sheet. So they'll sign their email, and then I'll add them manually to my email list after the show, and I get a lot of new signups just from doing that every time. And I recently got like 50 new signups at the last show I was at, and now we're up to like 310. And people have just been signing up left and right on some of my latest YouTube videos. So yeah, I think I've got a good kind of pipeline figured out with YouTube to my email list, and what's the word? I'm just gonna keep, doing that strategy, because it just wasn't happening as much through Instagram or Twitter, because they basically punish you for trying to get people off the platform and onto your own stuff. So yeah, YouTube is a little bit more lenient on that. Like you're allowed to have as many, it's not even a little bit, it's a lot more lenient on that stuff. Like you're allowed to have as many links as you want in your just video descriptions, and you can easily call attention to those links through the video you make itself. So it's just way easier to, I feel like, build a business on YouTube through the tools that they give you. So yeah, I've gotten a lot more email signups through my YouTube pipeline than anything else. Okay. Let's see. Dale A says, sorry, maybe I missed it. How do you have people sign up at the show? Fill out a card, a tablet? No. Where's my notebook? What I do is I just have a notebook and I put it out in front and tell people, hey, sign up. Like I just have a notebook out front for people to like write their email on and sign up to my list. So it's just a simple like notepad like this. And I got some sign up sheets here. I'll just write in Sharpie, hey, sign up to my email list and you can read everything at this table for free. So when people sign up, they're not signing up, just to get on my list. There's an offer there that, oh, you can't buy something. Well, at the very least, you could sign up. And that way you can read everything at this table for free. And then people are more than happy to sign up if they can't buy anything. And they'll also take like a business card or something like that. I had one recently. I just need to find it. And I'll just put that at the table and then people will sign up basically automatically. And you want to make sure to tell them to do it legibly, like in the sign up sheet, so that people will write their name legibly. Because if you don't, you're gonna have to go to like an email checker to make sure the email that they wrote down actually exists. Because if you write it incorrectly, that's a missing contact, so you won't even be able to. That won't even count towards your email list signups. So yeah, I'm now obsessed with finding this notebook. Let me grab it really quick. I have found it. So this is what I do. Yeah. So this is, let me make myself bigger. Yeah. Oh, and yeah, let me not show people's like email address, but I write your email here below for free digital comics and print your name. What did I say? Optional. Yeah. So basically they filled out the whole sheet just throughout the 2-day show, and I added all of them afterward. And that's just a nice easy way to get email list subscribers. And the reason the email list is so much more important than social media follows is because that is what they call traffic. Like it's what they call traffic you own, where people on social media, like you'll be lucky if you make a post and even like 5% of people that you that follow you on social media see your post. It has the potential to grab a lot of new readers or a lot of new followers, which is why we use social media. But whenever you put out an important post, like maybe you're making trying to make a sale for something, if you post that on social media, maybe 1% of people are gonna buy your thing or convert, as they say in business. Whereas if you have an email list, nearly 100% of the people you email will actually see the email. Maybe 50% of them will actually open it, and then you'll have an even higher conversion rate of people who actually buy your stuff because they opted in to be in your email in the first place. And from the email, you can continually market to them, meaning like you can continually tell them like, hey, I have a new Kickstarter coming, like support the Kickstarter. And people who are on your email list are more engaged than people on social media because you're in their personal inbox where you're able to talk to them directly and be like, hey, here's some things that I didn't even post on social media. You can read it here for free. Nobody else can get to it because you're on my email list and you're basically like, special, like more special than people on social media. And you can, nurture them. What do they call like nurture in business, where you give them all this, good stuff, like exclusive stuff that they can't get on social media. And you do that for long enough, and now you have a dedicated audience that you don't have to go out and interact with on social media to get them to buy your stuff. Like anytime you have the primary thing is that anytime you have a new product, let's say you have a 20,000 person email list, anytime you have a new product to sell, that's a guarantee of at least a certain selling amount. Like let's say 20,000 people converts to $30,000 in sales, then you don't have to go to social media and gather all those people again and again and again. You don't have to go out and hunt them on social media. If you have an email list and you engage your audience on your email list, then whenever you have a new product, you can put it out there to your big email list, and then that's guaranteed money in your bank. It's people that are interested in what you're doing. They're engaged, and they're focused mainly on you. There isn't the rest of the noise of social media to distract them, which is why you want to do an email list as soon as possible. It's in literally every business book that I have read, every creative business book or like marketing book about anything. They just 100% emphasize the email list, every single one, no matter which I've read. And it's what's the word? It's ubiquitous across all the highest top tier like business books. So as long as you get that email list going, then you should be good. But 99% of people aren't, even like artists especially, aren't willing to do that. They think it's boring or it's too hard to set up, and it's way easier to just use social media and get a whole bunch of likes. But likes are not cash, as JK Molina would say. And even if you get a whole bunch of likes on your stuff, it doesn't mean you have a sustainable career just because everybody liked your thing. And just because people liked your stuff on social media doesn't mean they'll necessarily buy it if you have something to sell. So it's something you have to really like consider if you're trying to make this into a viable living and not just a hobby, where you have to figure out like, how does this actually lead to a sale? You have to consider that a lot. And that's what your favorite like manga companies or artists are considering every time that they create or put something out there. They're like, okay, how is this gonna sell? We need this to be packaged in a way that can sell. Like I'm reading this manga called Manga Lover, and it's a manga about making manga, and it's about an editor who meets a like this 20-year-old girl who is like this genius at making manga, and he's trying to make her marketable and put her work out there because he really believes in her work. But in order for that stuff to make it out there, it has to be palatable to a wider audience. It has to be drawn in a way that draws attention. And like, the way my characters look is they look a certain way to grab attention. Like, you know, like they don't look they don't look ugly. So uh you have to make them in a way that you have fun drawing, but also people like reading the story that you're making out of them. Like, if you can get people to ask like, what's the sauce for a comic that you're making, like if they see a single image of your comic and they're like, sauce, or like, what's the source, then you've done your job correctly, because what's the word? Because they want to see more. Like that's the number one sign that they want to see more, is because you drew something that is instantly like readable. Is instantly readable and people want to see more. So yeah, that's really the business 101, I guess, of this podcast. So let me check if there are any other comments, what time it is. Okay, so I got about like 12 minutes, and then I'll head out. But let's see how far we can get, how much more inking we can do on this image before we get out of here. So I'm glad the stream is going off without a hitch, or like without internet issues. That's super great. And I think about like how long am I gonna stay with my parents? I think about that. Like, what am I gonna do to get out of here, or what is the criteria for me to leave? And it doesn't have to be like a bad thing, like, oh, I get kicked out or something. But it's more like I think, okay, what if I get my finances together and I'm not completely broke by the time I try to leave? And what if what's the other thing? Oh yeah, like basically the criteria for me is like, okay, let me finish Saintly, pay off all my debts while I have very minimal bills, and then just beef up my savings and just be debt free and making my own money from making art, and then I'll be like good to leave. And yeah, I think that will be like a good criteria for me to be ready to leave the nest again, but for good this time. Because last time I left, I had like 6,000 in a Roth IRA. I still had my school debt, but it was on what's the word? It was on it's not furlough, but where it was like a delayed payment, delayed deferment or something like that. And what else? I had money in the bank, and I still had like a credit card that wasn't like maxed out. And so when I left, I was just spending money left and right, because I was like, well, I'm on my own, and there's some certain life experiences that I wanted to have that I was just like, this is the time to do it now because I don't know when I'm gonna get another chance like this. So I better take the opportunity while I have it. And doing all those things, I don't regret it at all. Um, because I did live those life experiences that I missed out on when I was younger. Like talking with girls and getting a motorcycle and boxing for a while. But uh that put me in such a financial like bind that it would have taken decades to not only try to make a living in comics, but to try to break out of that. Um, like I would have to get a really good job, or I'd have to go back to school to get a degree that would allow me to get a really good job. Because the only thing I'm really qualified for are like manual labor jobs or high level, you know, manual labor jobs, like or dishwashing or whatever. Like those are the only things I'm like actually good at or qualified for. And I can also do everything involving the process of creating comics. So I'm also good at that. But you know what? Those things should be flowing more towards this way. I think I'll draw them in on a different layer. But yeah, because I don't have any other like real skills in anything else, I basically give myself no choice but to make it in comics. So I have to get as good as I humanly can at doing this stuff in this time frame where I have nothing else to focus on but drawing good comics. And this is a moment or a time period that I've been praying for and waiting for many years. And it didn't come in the way that I would have expected it to, but is the way it's appearing right now. And so I'm just going to take the ball and run as hard as I possibly can. There's this moment in Blue Lock where this character named Bachira, he is trying to overcome this like mental barrier he has with this monster that he plays with in his mind. And it's looking like the game is about to be lost on his end. But then the ball comes to him and he has a moment where he's just like, this is my chance. And then everything stops for just that moment. And then he takes the ball and goes. He just fucking goes and doesn't look back. He's like, this hand is wrong. He's like, he looks at it and then he just fucking goes. And everybody's trying to catch up with him. They're like, oh fuck, he's going with it. He got the ball and now he's going. And that's kind of what this moment in my life is for me right now. It's like, okay, I have the ball and I have to go and I can't squander this time. Like there's not a single moment or it never even crosses my mind to try to date. Doesn't cross my mind to try to do drugs, drink, smoke, go to a club. None of that. There is no possible way that you would catch me at any kind of situation like that. I probably wouldn't even touch a video game at this point. I don't want to squander this opportunity. I don't want to waste this time, this chance that I have to actually go all out, because it's the only thing I've ever asked for or ever wanted in life. And Now that it's here, it's like use it or lose it. You know what I mean? Like the options are succeed or die. You know what I mean? Like imagine how trash it would be if I have this opportunity right now and I'm just smoking weed or trying to hang out with friends or you know just doing all this like time wasting stuff that will show that it would just like put me on fraud watch, to be honest. Like if I was doing all this kind of nonsense, where people were like, wait, why are you playing video games, dude? Like, aren't you supposed to be drawing a comic? Like it would just be sad if I squandered an opportunity like this, because so many people would kill for just a chance like this. And really, I'm just living with parents. Like it seems like no big deal, or it seems like a step back in life, but if I use it correctly, it'll give me a massive leg up or a massive leap forward if I finish the work that I've set out to finish. Like really the only thing I have to do is finish Saintly, finish the whole comic of Saintly, which is going to be a graphic novel. And then whatever happens after that doesn't matter, because I finished a whole book. People were reaching out to me even after I finished 2 chapters of Air Rider. But imagine like when you finish a whole graphic novel that can be published or put into a full book format, what people are going to whoops, my screen turned off. Let me imagine what people are going to try to reach out to do with you once you finish a massive book like that. They'll be like, whoa, this guy can actually finish work. Like that's the only metric in comics that really matters, is that you can actually finish what you started. When people are like looking for artists to work with, they're like, did this artist ever finish a piece of work? Can this artist be relied on to finish a comic? And if you can, cool. Like people hire you for more projects, hire you for more stuff. I don't really want to get hired. That's why this opportunity is so golden, because I'm doing my own story and creating my own IP. Even after the end of this project, I still own the IP 100%. My publisher only earns on the advance and then the royalties of the first book, the first whole book. So she's really just helping me like get it started. And I cannot think of a better deal that has happened in comics. Like, so I would be a complete moron, an idiot, a stupid dumbass to waste this precious opportunity. I just be grateful for it every single day. Like I'll be thankful for that first thing in the morning. Because if I'm not thankful for it, if I just be like, oh man, this sucks and I have to live with my parents, and oh man, if I just complain about it, then I'll just get more things to complain about. But if I'm thankful for it, then more things to be thankful for will come towards me. So that is how it works. And this is my chance to make things happen, like my chance to really go for it. So I'm gonna do it, make it happen, and give you guys an amazing comic to look forward to, and give it my all. So yeah. Oh man, this is coming out pretty good. Let me, you know what? The best way to tell if it's really coming out good is to turn off the pencil layer. Ooh, okay, yeah. Let me. Is this still flipped? Yeah, it is still flipped. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're cooking. We're cooking. Yeah, it looks good. Um. Nice. 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 Yeah, I like how it's looking. I like the clean line look. It works for Saintly. Um. And I'm using like pretty good line weights on the rest of this stuff. And over time, because I have this time period to develop this like rapid iteration of new drawings, new pieces of work, and I can constantly make something new all the time, I'll get better at drawing faster than I used to, because I just was so sporadic at drawing before, that now that I have the time to draw every day all the time, I'm just gonna get better and better and better. And every time I come back to the drawing board, I'll be better faster than I was the last time. So that's one of those things I didn't have while I was making Air Rider. I would get, I would improve on such a short timeline because I always had work. I always had distractions, or I was always like too tired to draw at the end of the day. And now it's like, okay, now I have the time to really lock down my skills and my style, and to finish a whole book, so that no matter what happens after I'm done with that book, I have finished a book, and I'll be able to take that to the bank, basically. So yeah, that is basically the situation. I gotta draw her leg still though. But yeah, let me see some comments. Popping Rico said, if only we had time travel. Nelly Oda says, bro's locked in. Yeah, I was locked in during that whole rant too. Popping Rico, what's up, man? Yeah, he says the piece is looking awesome, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think it's coming out pretty good as well. I just need to finish off certain parts, and then if I have time to color it on my own or before next week, I'd like to try to get it finished inside the week, and then maybe do a speed paint or speed draw of it or something like that. But yeah, it's really coming out good now, and I'm basically at my time limit. So it is now 1:34, and let's just show you what I have so far. Like, this is the piece as it is so far, and it's looking crisp and clean. I just like the thin line style that I've been trying to adopt for Saintly so far. So yeah, I can't wait to do more of this. Like, Air Rider is drawn so differently from Saintly, because it's more of a shonen type book or more of a cartoon type book. So I have to use a lot of like heavy shadows and thickness and variation. But this is Saintly is more delicate. It's more it's about two girls, so the lines should be a little bit more delicate to reflect the subject matter as well. So yeah, I'm really liking how this piece is coming out. Can't wait to finish it. Maybe I'll finish it by next time or before next time and start a new piece after that. But yeah, I'm gonna head off and do some more chores around the house and get back to inking Saintly on the page and go from there. But yeah, I appreciate you guys coming out to the show. Let me make myself big. Appreciate you guys coming out to the show. I'm going to just finish up some night drawing, and I will see you next week. Peace.